Good afternoon and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Lee Doubleday and I'm with the Imagine America Foundation. I'm very excited about today's topic, the benefits of career and technical schools, sponsored by Porter and Chester Institute. Porter and Chester Institute has 9 campuses throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts, and Porter and Chester is also a 15-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, having provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 10,000 enrolling Imagine America students. So if you are interested in learning more about the Imagine America Scholarship Program, I will be in touch with you after the presentation with a link and where you can go to apply for our scholarship to Porter and Chester. But since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country, desperately looking for qualified employees, so we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation, like I mentioned earlier, is Porter and Chester Institute, and joining us today to discuss in detail the looming technician shortage and how Porter and Chester Institute is helping meet this need is Jack Burke. Jack is the Director of Admissions and Marketing at Porter and Chester and has been working with high schools for over 15 years, high schools and their students. But before turning the program over to Jack, let me outline today's agenda. Today's agenda will be, the session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum. Once we finish these remarks, we're going to move directly into today's presentation. All of you here who are joining us today can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the chat feature or the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, or approximately 4:25, I will then present any questions offered by the participants, and we'll address as many of those as possible and provide written responses and follow-up emails if necessary. We'll have a hard close at 4:30 because I know that you're at the end of your day and you've been on the computer all day long, so we will try to make this as quick and painless as possible. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Jack. Jack, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Lee. Can you hear me loud and clear here?
Yeah, yep.
All right, good. Yeah, so I'll just start off by saying thanks a lot, Lee. Lee and I have worked together for many years, and we have a tremendous relationship with IA, Imagine America. I'm actually a corporate director of admissions, so I cover 12 campuses for admissions and marketing. We have 9 in New England, and then we have 3 campuses down in the state of Pennsylvania under the name of York Technical Institute. So actually, I'm calling from Farmington, Connecticut right now. So those of you from Connecticut, you know where that is, right outside of Hartford. Thanks a lot for joining. Wow, beautiful day today. I mean, there were robins on my front lawn this morning. It's the snow's kind of disappearing. A lot of great things happening. So, and those of you in high school, I do want to tip my hat to you. I do have extensive experience in high schools. Actually, both my parents were high school teachers. Chief was a guidance counselor, was an instructor, and I just really appreciate. I really appreciate all that you've been going through with this COVID situation and pivoting into the virtual world. I think it's going to really serve you well, even years from now, being really expert, so to speak, and being able to communicate over different platforms. So first slide that we have here is education and training opportunities for 2021 high school graduates. So we're just going to kind of jump in there. These pictures that you're going to see in this presentation are actual pictures from our students. About 99% of them. There's probably a couple in there we purchased, but 95 to 99% of them are all from our actual campuses and such. So our agenda here is to welcome the high school counselors and teachers, which we just did, and we'll tell you a little bit about who is Porter and Chester Institute, what programs do we offer. I'm going to go very quickly. I'm going to touch base on every single one of the programs that we do offer. There's about 20 of them. So it'll be 2 slides per program. And you're going to get the information, the length of the program, the cost of the program, and the growth over the next 10 years. And then what is our process? Our admissions process is really simple. No SATs. There is an admissions assessment called the Wonderlic. It's a basic reasoning test. It's math and English. And we just want to make sure that students, and I'm talking to high school students, so you guys are really sharp. But we always have an assessment for students. We want to make sure that students can get through the text books and the material and things like that. So there is an assessment that is required to pass. And then as far as the criteria, it's basically high school diploma or a GED. So that's, and I'll go over a little bit more of that. And then the Q&A that Lee was talking about. Again, congratulations. And I say this Now, I've been in the business for actually 31 years, if you can believe it. 15, a lot in high schools, and I've been an administrator and had a lot of positions. So it's been a big part of my life. And I do really appreciate what goes on in high schools. It is a great congratulations to anybody that graduates high school. It's not easy. And all right, is it okay? Is it okay to set your sights on careers in healthcare, computers, and skilled trades? Yeah, I say it is. It is, especially now if you want to make a living. 4 or more year majors at large college campuses aren't for everyone. Career education and training in 2021 is much more than a consolation prize. Now you go back, like I'll go back 15, 20 years, and it was kind of like, well, if you went to school like Porter and Chester Institute or a quote unquote, vocational school, you were kind of like, well, you can't cut it at a 4-year college or, so you're going to take a consolation prize type of thing. I think that did change probably about 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago. And I think that right now, it's not just Mike Rowe, though he's a huge advocate of ours, but I just think that this whole sense out there is that, a degree in psychology, I have a degree in psychology, everybody has degrees in, different things. Like our IT gentleman who handles our whole IT program in all 12 campuses is a graduate from UConn, and he was a philosophy major. So he graduated a number of years ago as a philosophy major, and he realized that all the philosophy factories were closed. And if he didn't want to go and become a professor, which he could have, he's a really, really brilliant guy, but he decided, so he came to Porter and Chester after he had a degree in UConn in philosophy, graduated from there. And then this was a number of years ago, and now he's an IT expert. He's got every certification you can think of, and he kind of moves all the information throughout our 12 campuses. So again, we see students come in with art college. We see them come in with, an associate's degree, maybe 2 years of college, 3 years of college, and sometimes 4 years of college. And the focus that we give is career education. We're going to give you an education on top of your education for one reason only, and that is to help you get ready so you can go out and you can get a career. And those jobs, they're in demand. 5 great things about Porter and Chester. We're New England born and raised. All right, so that's good because it's important that we have the demographics. It's important that we have the job market that's in that area. What's important to employers in that area, because we have career assistance when you graduate. We call it job assistance. We do not call it job placement. You cannot guarantee a job. No school can guarantee a job, and we certainly don't. And so, very clear. I'm very clear with all of the people that come to our school. Say we're not guaranteeing you any job here, but we will tell you this: we will work extremely hard with you to help you find a job, and that's an accreditation thing. So, in New England, born and raised, it's important we know the climate of Pennsylvania, and we know the climate of Massachusetts and Connecticut, and Rhode Island too. We do pull students from Rhode Island. Technical education since 1946. Just really quickly, we started at Porter School of Engineering back in Rocky Hill right after World War II. It was just CAD, just drafting. Those of you from Connecticut will understand, we still do have many, many, many graduates and alumni that went to Pratt & Whitney and Fafter, Ball Bearings. You remember them in New Britain, right? Maybe if you're from this area. And, all of those, Electric Boat and, just General Dynamics. So they came out of the war, and then they learned on the board with slide rules and stuff. They made a living. They stayed there their whole career and retired from there. So we've been in the technical education business for a long time, and we've grown tremendously. Now, like I said, we went from one little campus to 12 campuses now. We went from one major to about 22 right now, and we're adding all the time. Learn by doing. Huge component of any type of technical education is you get the didactic in the classroom, and then you have to put it together with the actual hands-on, and then a team to support you. All of the administration in Porter and Chester Institute is from the top down. We have one president, one CEO. We have one VP of education. We have one person like myself that handles marketing and admissions, and that's important for support to our students because you get consistency, standardization, and excellence from campus to campus. The last one, which is important, is ACCSC. That's our accrediting agency. That's one of them. We're also accredited by ABHES for some of our medical programs. We have a respiratory therapy program in Pennsylvania that's accredited by COARC. So there's a lot of accreditations, but the big one is this ACCSC, Accrediting Commissions of Career Schools and Colleges. And that allows us then to have Title IV funding, financial aid. If you're looking at a number of schools and they're not accredited, you may want to ask why. It's very strict accreditation. When I used to run campuses, I was a little concerned when they came around, but we always did good. And by the way, you know, because you're in education, a lot of people don't know. High schools are accredited, police departments are accredited, banks are accredited. Everybody's accredited, and because they're looked over for excellence. And of course, schools education is strictly, very, very strictly regulated, which is good. This is our mission, vision, and values. I know I'm flying here and I have to. Here's Massachusetts and here's Connecticut. So we're in Brockton, Worcester, Chicopee, and then in Connecticut, we're in Enfield, Rocky Hill, Waterbury, Stratford, Hamden, and New London. So these are our locations. Some people sometimes say, Jack, little tiny Connecticut, a little tiny Connecticut. You got 3.6 million people. That's not even like Long Island's population. Why do you have 6 campuses? Put them together in 2, save some money. Don't plow so many parking lots. Don't heat so many buildings. And that could be actually a good business plan, if you're looking for just the bottom line. But we're not looking for the bottom line. We're looking for the students' experience. So I'd rather have 6 campuses that are spread out, that are close to home, that are built into the community, and you have smaller class sizes. It's just so much better. And that's why you do it that way. And we're very proud of that. Where our graduates are working, small sample, I'm sure you already looked it over. Career services, this is where our curriculum is focused on what the employer is looking for. So we have what we call PAC committees, program advisory committees, that we meet with several times a year, and they come in, and each major has theirs, and they tell us basically what are employers looking for out there, what's new, and we adjust our curriculum to that. We offer careers in healthcare, skilled trades, and technology, and here we go. So dental assisting. How to assist dentists in the chairside procedures, digital and analog x-rays, some crown bridge work. There's a tremendous amount of information is on our website for each one of these majors. And I would recommend, because I am going fast, is that if you're really interested in dental, you want a lot more information, just go to porterchester, one word, .edu, porterchester.edu. And then you'll have videos, you'll have testimonial videos, you'll have all types of curriculum there and information for you to take a look at. Dental assisting, do you work well with others, and are you detail oriented? Here's the tuition. So every slide is going to be like this. I'm circling the tuition here. I'm circling the length of the program, 9 months long. And then here's the career growth in the next 10 years. Medical assistants, similarly, there's front office and back office. So it's the clinicals as well as the administrative duties. So you're going to be doing blood draws, EKGs, and also you're going to be working with accounting and insurance and medical records, things like that. It's a combination. Do you like caring for others, and are you effective communicating? Very, very key in medical assistant. You have to be able to talk to somebody that might be in pain that comes in, somebody that's nervous to go into the, getting a physical, whatever it is. Can you communicate with people, and do you care? And does that come across? We have excellent graduates from all of our programs, and this one here is really, really, really something else. Let's say, so it's a little under 17,000, 9 months long, 19% career growth over the next 10 years. Now, this tuition cost does not include the student service fee, and in that could be, it could be in the range of $1,000 to maybe $2,000, depending on the major. Everybody gets a laptop, of course. We tried the iPad route, and we did that for, I want to say, about a year or 2 years, because we use ebooks, and we just decided we got to go with the laptop because it's stronger and it's much, much better for the students. So there's a student service fee on top of that, on top of this, and then it goes through the educational fund and financial aid. Practical nursing, huge program. This one's a little different. You have to pass the Wonderlic assessment, then you also take the TEAS test, which is the essential test, about 2.5 hour test. And the students start right at the beginning. They go through a regulated curriculum that is delivered to us by the Board of Examiners of Nursing in the state of Connecticut. It's about a 1,500 hour course, clock hour course, and it prepares you for the NCLEX exam. Once you pass the NCLEX exam, you become licensed, and then you become a licensed practical nurse. We teach practical nursing, and then the students graduate, and then when they take the state licensure and they get licensed, then they become a licensed practical nurse. Tuition, length of the program, and growth. Cosmetology, this is only offered in our Rocky Hill campus. It's a very misunderstood program. It's a good program if you like to work independently and you graduate and you get licensed, and maybe you rent a chair in this salon, and then that community, you go over here and you rent a chair over here. Maybe you work out of your house. Everybody, you can make some money with doing cosmetology and build up your client base and things like that. It's not an easy program. There's chemistry, there's math, there's anatomy, but our students really enjoy it. And then down below here, you can see my cursor. This is La Bella Vita. We do have a salon at our Rocky Hill campus. and we cut students here, and the public comes there, and sometimes we give free haircuts to vets and the elderly and things like that for the hands-on, so they get some nice hands-on. Tuition, length, and steady employment. Automotive is really big. It's all diagnostics now. It's you got to use, you got to have fractions and metric conversion and reading graphs and things like that, but it's part of the program. So any math, whether you're using the Pythagorean theorem in CAD or whether you're using, like I said, algebra in computers or whatever it is, it's math taught in our curriculum. So that's a big one, right? Everybody's always afraid of, what about the math? Well, it's applied math, and it's a lot easier for them to learn. Automotive is big. Again, diagnostics is the key to automotive. Tuition, length, steady. Career HVAC, we have an R there for refrigeration, walk-in coolers, ice machines. You walk up and down, Stop and Shop, maybe get a TV dinner once in a while or a quart of ice cream or something like that. That's refrigeration, and there are jobs in that. And there's good money in that if once you get licensed, and we give you all the related instruction hours necessary for the state to be able to get those instructional hours. And then you go out and you do your apprenticeship, and then you get licensed. And there's a whole series of licenses, the B2, the S2, and that type of thing. So that's what we prepare our students to take. They get the related instruction. They go out, they get their externship hours or their apprenticeship hours. They put it together, and then they can take the state exams. And we all know what that's all about. They do really well. Here's your tuition. Here's your length. Here's your career growth. Similarly, plumbing, same thing. Related instruction hours. Here's your tuition. Here's your tuition. Here's the length, and here's your growth. And again, that's 12 months, so they go right through the summer. So if they start in January, for example, then they would graduate that following January. Electrical. So we do teach industrial, commercial, and residential electrician. It's not just houses. It's factories, supermarkets, retail. It's industrial, commercial, and residential. And again, go to porterchester.edu. You get a much deeper dive than I'm giving you here. Electronics, we like to call this low volt. So you're talking about, security systems, fire alarm systems, home entertainment. It's electrical, but it's more low voltage to be prepared for the C6, L6, T2 licensing. Again, you'll see how advantageous it can be. Tuition, length, steady. CAD, computer assisted drafting and design. It's all on the 3D printers right now. You remember when they first came out, right? First of all, they cost a fortune. And now they're a lot cheaper, but they revolutionized everything. We've been teaching AutoCAD for many, many years. And that's the one that's universal. Autodesk, Revit, SolidWorks, it's all there. And again, critical thinking comes into it, solving problems. Having an artistic bent is always a good thing, whether they're designing a plastic injection mold machine or putting French doors on a house out to a deck or something. It's a bit of a dreamer, and the math doesn't stop anybody, again, because it's part of our program. Computer and what network technology, we all know about IT, right? I mean, wow. Just Webster Bank alone, school systems, insurance companies, they basically are so demand right now. It's unbelievable. And again, we prepare them to be able to go out and go on the website. We prepare them to install computer hardware, softwares, securely connect computers to intranets and the cloud, and how to become prepared for the different types of certification. And how am I doing on time there, Lee? Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're flying right along here. So that's pretty much the content of the programs that we offer. And again, porterchester.edu. I do want to kind of segue a little bit, especially since we have counselors here and we have parents and students. One thing that we've always found too is that it's really important that you have the soft skills, and we do get into that quite a bit. And we call it steps of success. So you can see personal assessment, appearance, time management, mastering your trade, commitment and dependability and things like that. Really, really important. As a corporate director of admissions and had many positions, in the organization over the years, I've hired, many, many people. And the thing that I always looked for is I looked for honesty, and I looked, is that person trainable? and what we try to enforce with our students is you have to sell yourself. You have to go out there and you have to have a personal assessment. You have to be self-aware. And we work with students like that. And we're very honest with them, and we collaborate with them, and we really take ownership as a team with that student. And they really appreciate it. Plus it's an opportunity for them to grow as an individual. And when we hire individuals to work for our company, we look for that same type of caring attitude, to really work with the student, help them get ready to get out into that crazy world and be able to fend for themselves, and not only that, but also grow. Educational funding, this is of course the whole key to this thing. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Because we're ACCSC accredited, nationally accredited, then we have the ability to lend Title IV funding. You have to create an FSA ID, and then they do their FAFSA. We have an educational funding department that will sit down in the virtual world and go over everything with the parents and with the student, and help them find out, how it can make it affordable. And I will say unabashedly, Imagine America has opened doors for so many of our graduates. It's amazing. I mean, the Imagine America means so much to a student when they come in and they say, well, I don't play the cello. I'm not a star athlete, and I'm not like an exemplary student. And we say, well, guess what? We have something that is in play for you to help you financially, and it's called the Imagine America Foundation. And then they, I've been around long enough to see, parents break down and cry, in an office, say, thank you so much. This means so much. It's everything. It's self-esteem and it's money. And you put those two together for a high school student. And that's why I've been in this business this long. It's so exciting. In addition to that, Port and Chester has a $2,000 scholarship that we award to high school graduates. Again, it's not like a testing type of a thing. We basically base it off the student getting a recommendation from their high school guidance counselor or an administrator at the school. And so it's pretty simple. So, and we found it's extremely helpful to everybody. So, and that's pretty much it, Lee. As you know, I'm going to kind of fold there and just say we have an application online. If you're interested, we are taking applications right now, of course, for the 2021 high school students. We have a class start in July, and then we have another one in August, and we have another one in October. Now, we're already enrolling students. We enroll students like 4 times a year. Now it's 6 times a year. So right now we have a start. As a matter of fact, on March 22nd, we have another one in April, but you'd be eligible as a graduate to start in our July start, or our August 26th start, or our October start, but I would not wait. You can go right to porterchester.edu and you can apply online, and then somebody will be in contact with you and we'll walk you through the whole thing. I'm going to wrap it up there and see if there's any Q&A, Lee.
Yeah, awesome. All right, great. Thank you. And we are now going to open this up for the questions. So if you have questions for Jack or myself about the Imagine America Scholarship Program, please type them into the Q&A. We've also thrown up a poll question. If you want more information about how to apply for a scholarship to attend Porter and Chester, please answer yes to the poll so that I know who to send information on about our scholarship programs. It does look like that a person had a question about housing for you, Jack. I mean, I know that you have so many campuses in Connecticut and Massachusetts, but if they are a little bit outside the state, do you offer any sort of assistance? I know you don't have dorms, but is that something that your staff is equipped to help a student?
Yeah, surely. Of course, yeah. I mean, thanks for asking that. Yeah, I mean, we'll help you. And of course, we have landlords and things like that sometimes contact us. They're looking for, when you have somebody going to school, they're usually a very, very good tenant. You guys are studying, and you're very responsible. So we'll help you, but we do not have any dorms, so to speak. But yeah, we'll help you. We have a student service center, and we have 2 people that work in that, and that's what they do. They can help. They can help in that regard.
That's great. Okay. All right. Second question. This person wants to know. I think you talked about it early in the session, but about GPA or SAT score requirements. I don't think that you said that there are any in order to attend Porter and Chester. Is that correct?
It is correct. It's correct, and it's wonderful because we found, at least I found that you can't judge a book by a test alone. You just can't. So we don't require the SATs. What we do have is that basic Wonderlic test that you take, and it's basic English and math. And that's it. And then unless you go into nursing. So yeah, it's really, we just want to find somebody that really wants to learn and we want to help them.
Right. Yeah. You have an interview with the student to see if they'd be a good fit for you and that the school would be a good fit for them, basically, right?
Yes, we do. And it's so interesting because we're a it's all about relationships. It's a consulting type of situation. We don't the people that I work with are called career program specialists. They're not like admissions counselors and that's okay too, but they're career program specialists. In other words, we're not selling anything. We don't sell education. You can't sell education. What you can do is you can make an offer to somebody and say, Jack, what do you want to become? I'd love to become a medical assistant. Okay, this is what it takes to be medical assistant. This is what we offer. Does this interest you? So it's a real soft experience as opposed to, it's we're the greatest school in the country. We don't do that. We don't have to do that because we're growing and we've got a great reputation. So we want to meet with the student. We want to see if it's a good fit for the student. If it's a good fit for us, then that's a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, part of the attractiveness to Porter and Chester is your relationships with employers. So if you have a student who is, they know what they want to do and they want to enter the workforce as quickly as possible, Porter and Chester is the best option for them because not only will they get the training that they need, but you hit the nail on the head. It's all about relationships. And Porter and Chester's built relationships with employers over the years that you guys have been in business because those employers hire your graduates. So it's one thing to get your education, it's another to get the job. And I just think that that's the best thing about Porter and Chester is that they're there to help you make sure that you are employable and that they'll help you get the job. And I just think that's great. And it's something that's been helping our students and the students who apply for our scholarship for years.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Lee. And while we don't guarantee a job, and that's a legal thing. I mean, we don't. And in some of our competitors, they might, different parts of the country, whatever, we do not guarantee a job, and students thank us for that, and counselors thank us for that, and parents are like, we can't interview for somebody, but what we do is we have lifetime assistance. So let's say a student gets a job, and all of a sudden their boss decides to retire, or fold up the company, they move out of whatever it is. You can come back to Porter and Chester at any time, and we'll give you, update your resume. We'll work together with you, and I was just on calls today. I mean, we have so many employers banging on our doors. We have so many, HVAC and plumbing, and these careers are super in demand. So it is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I think it's great what you just said because I didn't know that somebody could come back to Porter and Chester years later, even if they might have graduated in 1998. They can still come back and ask for assistance in helping them find a job later down the road. That's awesome.
Yep.
What a benefit. Okay. All right. Well, great. Just a couple of house cleaning items here, everybody. We have recorded this session. I will be sending you the recording of this session so you can re-listen to the session if you want to, or send it along to a friend or a family member to take a look at Porter and Chester and some of these programs that we talked about here. Before closing, I just want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. There is a quick survey. It's about 4 questions long. If you wouldn't mind answering that for us, it really gives us some feedback and assistance, and any feedback is good for us. But I just want to thank you all, and also thank Jack for sharing with us today's presentation, and encourage each and every one of you to contact him directly with any future questions. But on behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Jack and myself, I want to thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.